Welcome back, everybody, to some more Pokemon Platinum. Last episode, Cyrus got beat up. We listened to a whole load of incredibly dull plot, and we got through the rest of the Defog Dilemma. Now, we have the option this episode if we wanted to. We got the Surf HM, we could go and use it. But instead, there's this route to the west that we're going to just take a look at. So it's Route 211. And we're going to start off with a battle. Haha, I'm psyched for this. Here goes. This route is optional. You could go through this entire game and never go here. But we should check it out first. I mean, they put the effort to put it in, I guess, right? Those of you that are very keen-eyed may notice that this is the same recording batch as the previous episode. Sure, probably gives it away. But you may have also noticed that there was a distinct time difference between when we recorded the last episode and this one. I know, I was talking about, I think in my EU4 video I was talking about steak sandwiches, and that was what we ended up having. Virtue finally gets to learn a good move, by the way. So X-Scissor. 80 base power, physical bug type move. It doesn't have any special effects, unlike Bug Bite. However, it is significantly stronger and we only lose 5 PP, so... Bug Bite, see you later. If we had Technician, it would be a different story, but we don't, so we're going to deal with what we've got. It also means now, from a maths perspective, these two moves do the same amount of damage to Meta type. They're both going to be 120. So we'll just use Aerial Ace because it has more power points. And that was very kind of it to use a move that doesn't affect us in any way, shape or form. Yeah, it's nice to have some caramelized onions on your steak sandwich. Didn't have mushrooms, but I know a lot of people do. But I'm an onion person over a mushroom person. But Choke, we are definitely using Aerial Ace on you. Get that done. This is also an excuse to record in when the game considers it to be an evening, and it is very, very pretty, the nice orangey brown that they use. Having said that, this time of year where I live, it's been pitch black for half an hour. So, it is dark, dark, dark. Yeah, it's a shame we're getting to that time of the year, right, if you're listening or watching this close to when it's released, where you get up to go to work and it's dark, and you come home from work and it's dark. It's kind of sad. I don't reminisce over yesterday, I don't think about tomorrow, I only live today to the fullest. That's my policy. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Encounter Rise, I tried to click the item. Thank you very much, game. I appreciate that greatly. And it's a Machoke that's only one level lower than the AIs, so maybe you just caught one straight out of the wild. It puts into oh, I forgot to click A on the item. Oh dear, brain, you had a bit of a breakdown there, didn't you? No, it puts into perspective how strong that Raichu Gyarados combination is on the route prior to Celestic Town at level 36, when the trainers here don't even have Pokemon that high a level. Route later. Yeah, it's very, very unusual. What isn't unusual, I guess, is finding fighting types in this grass. There's a trainer. Do we want to bother him? No, we'll just battle him. He's been waiting for us. Speed's a ninja's best weapon. Can you keep up? Well, considering I'm using a Kricketune, probably not. Having said that, you're not even using a particularly quick Pokemon, so... That sentence didn't make a lot of sense, did it? Not at all. But, again, Aerial Ace is very convenient. It gives us a bug advantage over other bugs. And, to be fair, that Scoopy face, especially on that, it's got a very bizarre angle on its sprite in Platinum. Like, it looks like it's doing that kind of, like, stretch you do when you get him limbered up. I know, it's very odd. You must keep throwing down toxic spikes. I'm fine with that. They don't do any damage unless I switch. And what? Cheese would be immune, as would Boofroth. So, not that perturbed. It surprises me, in all honesty, that even though we picked the 6 Pokemon that start off with the lowest base stat total, none of them are poison type in this game. Now, obviously, if we included the national dex, that's a different situation altogether. But I was very surprised that there wasn't a poison type in the bottom 6. Because, let's be honest, a lot of poison types stink. And I don't mean that as a pun. They're just not very good. I did a lot to conceal myself too. I mean, the same with bug types, right? There's an understanding that at the start of the game you're going to encounter lots of bug types and a lot of poison types. And that's just a thing. We can use Rock Smash to get here, but then it's like, oh no, the wall is very rocky. Will the Pokemon's move scale it? Yes, but not right now. Not for a while, actually. Not for a while. Now, we could go and battle everybody. I'm pretty sure this is not a trainer. I'm strong, I'm not going to repeat it a million times. But he says it a lot. Am I really? No, I am strong. Okay, I'm all good. He's the Piccolo back on Namek moment. They give you TM77. And TM77 is... Psych Up. Get it? Because he was psyching himself up. I know, it's very, very clever writing. Let's get Grapes up front. Again, we don't want to give one Pokemon all the limelight. I guess we'll battle this guy. Even look for us. Whilst exploring the ruins, I spotted the trainer. I must investigate. Ruin Maniac Harry, who has a steel type, not a rock type. So Grapes was the wrong decision. Let's get our own steel type and we'll remedy that situation. Again, I'm pretty sure that virtually all of the Bronzor in this game have Levitate. Well, not when you catch them in the wild, it's 50-50. But the vast majority of the trainers ones have Levitate instead of Heat Proof, so I'm pretty sure if we kick it, we'll do quite a lot of damage. Give it the old Blaze Kick. We don't quite one-shot it, though. Thank goodness it used a move that did absolutely nothing. Yeah, Imprison's a weird move. If both Pokemon share moves, like they both have the same move, Imprison means they can't use them. It's very, very odd. You're going to see a lot of this Pokemon later on in the game, so just get used to it at this point. It shows up in the wild a lot at certain parts of Mount Coronet, and a lot of trainers start using it, which I wouldn't care, but it's slow and high defense and just annoying. And for some reason this guy has 3 of them? I don't know. Pokemon variety, I guess, is not his top priority. I might not even be able to 2-hit this. It's gonna be close. I'm just glad that a Blaze Kick hasn't missed yet. Oh no, we did it. Yeah, Blaze Kick, it's in that accuracy threshold where you get pretty miffed when you miss. It's not like Tackle at 95% where you're like, why? But pretty close. My investigations revealed the trainer to be tough. Oh. Yes, I just kicked a Pokemon to death over and over again. I didn't actually mean to do that, but we need to battle them anyway. I go everywhere with my Noctowl. We're going to show you Owl Best. Ha! I love a dad joke, and even I wouldn't say that. Catherine. Terrible. Terrible. Speaking of terrible, are we on rock slide duty again? Thank goodness. Actually a very similar colour to the background. How pretty. That did nothing. That also did nothing. Oh, okay, we might get away with this. Oh, he says as it misses immediately. Okay, we're switching out. I don't have a way of breaking that reflect right now, so we'll just use Spark and try and mow through it. And it's a good job I switched when I did, because that would have hurt Grapes big style. Wonder if we'll be able to take it out. It'd be pretty touch and go. Pretty touch and go. Beautiful. Alright, so yeah, Catherine is defeated. We did our best. That's what matters, right? And then gives us some reasonable pocket change. Even on cold days, just being with my Noctowl keeps me warm. Good. Good for you. Alright, so let's grab these berries. We're going to once again just steal from the community garden, because that's apparently what we do best. I would plant these, but as you may have noticed, I tend to record these 3 or 4 at a time, and then we record, you know, every 3 or 4 weeks. So I will plant these berries and they will certainly die, so we're not going to do that. In terms of this route, actually, that's it, but there is a little bit more that we should look at. I didn't mean to go into this grass, so hi Meditite, nice to see you. Didn't mean to see you. Get out of my face now. Thanks muchly, I appreciate it. The onion-headed weirdo. I just wanted to go around to minimize the grass exposure. Oh, this is a different Pokemon you get to see. At least there's that. I don't remember what EV you give, but in the chance that it's a special, I'm just gonna beat you up with Petal Dance super quickly. I can't believe we didn't take that in one hit. How depressing. No, we're not going to be grinding. Don't need to. So far, like I said, things have been going surprisingly well, and I know I've been usually talking up how good the gym leaders are and how hard a time we're potentially going to have. I'll just tell you now, the next gym, I don't think we're really going to have that many issues with. Yes, let's just cut this down so we don't have to go through the grass again. That's how determined to not get an encounter I am. Yeah, we can go in here. So, this is one of the many Mount Coronet entrances. Just so we don't spend forever and a day here, let me just put down a repel. Pretty sure there's an item there. Yes, there is. It's a star piece. So we can't push this aside. That's the real hang-up. Yeah, the hang-up we have right now. There's an escape rope in here. That will be useful. That's not why I'm here, but it will be useful. We can use Rock Smash. I don't think there's actually anything in this one. No, there's not. But at the moment, as you can see, not a huge amount going on. And we don't have strength. So that's really about it. This is meant to be your clue when you come in here. You're like, oh, well, nothing to do. Guess I'll go do what Cynthia says. So that's what we're going to do now. But you may have noticed, we don't have the capacity to fly. So we're going to have to run back. And we'll run back together because this won't take very long. Repair ward up. Ward off. Yes, that's the word I wanted to use. It wore off. The old ward off. I thought that was that person that drew the Campbell, painted the Campbell's soup. What's that, Warhol? It's close enough. Anyway, we're temporarily going to have to put some Pokemon in storage. Now, this is why we caught Pokemon earlier. So, it doesn't really matter who we take out right now because it will not be a permanent fixture anyway. Get that B-Barrel in here as well. Temporary. And we get to play Teach All the HMs, the game. Let's go back into our bag. We have Fly. Yes, you do want to learn Fly, Staravia, who we're not even going to nickname. But there's the Defog. We could have used it, it just seemed more appropriate to not. Anyway, we'll get that taught. Doesn't matter what move I overlap, but I'm getting rid of Double Team because it's disgusting, cheap, and nasty. Get Surf on our B-Barrel. Just replace Water Gun just because we can. Beautiful. Alright, and I guess while we're here, we'll heal. So, truth be told, I'm not being very imaginative. I've probably picked the two most common Pokemon to have that move in this game. Because we're not using it anyway, right? So it's a moot point. We're not going to be using it in battle, we're just going to be using it for the mandatory part of the game. Having said that, there are places that we can go before we move the plot. So getting Surf unlocks a lot of things that we can do. Some of which we can do mostly, some of which we can do kind of partial bits and pieces of. Because the surfing options everywhere. Now, there's one very specific place that we're going to go now that we have Surf. Just because there's some actual substance to going there. So there's a few places in this map that just have water and there's an item on the other side. And that's about it. That's kind of boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Floroma Town. We're going to go put our Staravia away. Because we're not going to need it and we don't want to use it. You know, we don't want to use it in battle by accident or in case I forget or anything stupid like that. We do have to keep our B-Barrel in the party because we need Surf, and we're going to put our strongest Pokemon away. That's the compromise I'm going to make there. I will try and put my most powerful Pokemon away in the situations where we need a HM slave. It just feels appropriate, I guess, for a scenario like that. So we'll put Maple away. Let's get back on our bike. So we want to go to the east, and you'll remember this place because we can't get a Drifloon because it's on a Friday. Sad. More importantly, though, there's a lot of water in this area, and don't get me wrong, there are a couple of parts of it where it's just an item on the other side, and there's a lot of water. I always like to go this way because it looks silly and ridiculous. I also forgot I didn't have a repellent. Look how happy that Shellos is. What a happy dude. He's a very happy little boyo. Anyway, we're not here because Shellos is happy, although that's a happy side effect. A happy well, I guess it's a coincidence. Not a side effect. Maybe it is a side effect. Maybe just me existing makes them happy. I don't know. Like, you're a 10-year-old kid in this game. You don't know any different. I'm surprised you're not just dunking your head in some custard rather than going on a journey to be the best and defeat, you know, massive organization made of evil. Alright, the place we want to go is here. Yeah, a random encounter. That's where we wanted to go. No, it's Fuego Ironworks. Because there's, like I said, there's actual substance and a few reasons to go here. So first of all, if you are playing, you know, the honey game, there is another tree back here. There are some plants that, yet again, we're going to go ravage. We'll get this out of the way. Citrus berry, probably the most versatile one that you can get. Don't know if we'll be using it or not, but we will see in due course. We'll get these Wepear or Wepear berries. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. And then this Kelpsy berry, which the plant for I don't like. It looks like a hand. It looks like a red hand. Not a big fan. Anyway. We went up here. Oh, I thought I might make it, but no. Yeah, there are some fairly dangerous Pokemon in the wild here. There's no way on this earth we're going to be able to run away from this, so I'm going to have to just attack it. Floatzel is very, very fast. Pikachu is very, very slow. And as a result, our run chance would be pathetic. That was pretty good damage, though. Gives us some context for what we think we'll be able to do. That being said, we're on half health. So, I guess it shows that we're, you know, defensively capable like a wet paper bag. Anyway, this is Fuego Ironworks. We're not going to go in there straight away because of a couple of the pieces to note. First of all, you can come this way and remember this location? This is where you went to heal before you went to Eterna Forest. There's a nice convenient place to heal. It's why I didn't bring Staravia along, because it's not like I need to go a great big distance to fly back and heal. It's fine. The only thing you have to do is, unfortunately, you're going to have to get back there, right? So you can either go through the grass past that weird battle lady, or you can just cycle down here, and this is where we were before. I'll put a rappel on this time so we don't have to have the same encounters again. But no, I like that little bit of map design, and to be fair, like in these 2D, 3D, you know, kind of the halfway house sprite-based games, they were pretty good at designing maps that were somewhat consistent. When it got 3D in, like, you know, Generation 6 and beyond, that stopped a bit. The reason why I wanted to not go in the Ironworks first is because this is another place to show how you can get into the meadow. Now, there are a lot of hidden items here. We're not going to go through them all, although that leaf stone was just there, so that's why I picked it up. Realistically, like with really anything in a Pokemon maze, if you click A at the end of the maze, there's a good chance there's something there. Rare Candy, Ultra Ball. And yeah, there's another item up here. Like I said, I think there's a couple of hidden items too, but we don't need them. The Miracle Seed is what I wanted to grab. So the Miracle Seed just increases grass power attacks. Grass, you know, that's not a huge surprise. But it's nice to have it in case we don't want to go for the big route. Anyway, let's get back to the Ironworks because we're going to go in there this time. And I'm going to use another rappel because I don't want to run into another Floatzel and not be able to run away from it. Thank you. And there's nothing over here. I wish there was, but no. Anyway, to the Ironworks. So do you like puzzles? Probably. Do you like puzzles that involve moving on tiles? Well, if you played back in Generation 1, probably not, because they were pretty much the only puzzle the game had. This place has a lot of shards in it. We will probably not need to use any shards, but yeah, this is a nice, easy place to get shards from. I also don't have this pattern memorized. I work in the Fiery Foundry. You bet I'm hot and sweaty. Why would you tell a kid that? So, hey kid, I stink and I work hard. Okay. And you can tell based on the level here, because that Machop's level 33, this is what the game wants you to do. It wants you to come here before you go to the next city. Well, realistically, this place is pretty easy to miss. Pretty easy to miss. Okay, that's just my voicemail. That's fine. It's probably some bot telling me that my social's wrong and having my iPhone delivered or something like that. Having never owned an iPhone and never ordered one. That's how it goes, right? If anything, these bots just are better at being marketers than anything else. I'll have techs occasionally come in and be like, hey, your Mercedes is ready at the garage, having been repaired. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I could afford one of those. I don't own one of those. Ah, dear. And that Machoke has caused itself to faint. Wonderful. You would think with the name Fuego Ironworks that some of the trainers would use fighting types, but that most of them would use fire types. You'd be kind of surprised. Having said that, even though it's a bad type matchup, I'm going to put the Lucario up front. So we can't go that way. That's the same direction. This is safe, and it gives you a calcium. Good item, boosts your special attack because it gives it, I don't remember, is it 10 EVs? It's been a long time since I've done competitive. Makes you feel old. Anyway, that's fine. Now we know that we don't have to go that way again, so we can go the other method. I hope you enjoy the sound of rotation on panels, by the way, because you're going to hear it quite a lot more before we're done here. Well, it's not often we get a visitor like you to the Ironworks. Let's mark the occasion with a battle. The other thing that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So this is clearly an establishment where people are working. Also, not a fire type. Cute Pokemon. I like Magnemite, but yeah. Anyway, that's not what I was going to say. So this is clearly a working establishment. People are here on the regular. And yet, rather than just be able to walk to their offices or their working location, they have to spin there. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I get they want to have a puzzle, but it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they have just made it like an abandoned ironworks, and that the way you're moving around is based on traps that bandits made that were there? A bit like, you know, Team Skull hanging out at Po Town, which weirdly didn't have this mechanic, or really any mechanic. Fine, I was, but only because I feel like it. Ah, yeah. Okay. The floor panels move automatically. We're pretty proud of them here, but why? Dude, you don't make sense. There's a red shard. Beautiful. Now, this is a trap. You go down there, you're gonna have a bad time. Having said that, well, clearly that just goes back to where you came from. We have to go up here. Because, yeah, every Pokemon game that has a puzzle like this has to have a path where if you go, it pushes you back to the start. So they really take the fun out of the puzzle and make you start again. Nothing is worse than that, though, than the Trick Master in Generation 3. Where it's just, please use this one HM over and over and over again, back when you couldn't skip the animation. Just forever. And it's like, this is not fun. This is just a waste of time. Green shard. They worked out eventually that people don't like watching the same animation over and over again. Having said that, we're playing a game that, you know, that's its bread and butter in battle too, so guess we shouldn't throw stones too far from our glass house here. That firestone would normally be useful, but for the way that we're playing, it is most certainly not. And I don't remember which path this is that you have to go on. So, because I'm a chump, we're going to go down the middle. Because I'm pretty sure it's wrong, but safely wrong. Yes, it is. At least it doesn't put you back to the start in this case. Let's then go... Yeah, if you go to the bottom, it just puts you back where you were. Actually puts you to the left there, I think. Anyway, this is fine. This is where I wanted to go, because I want to get the trainer battle up. Are you maybe getting annoyed where the floor panels take you? And then the game, like I said, then becomes kind of self-aware. It's like, oh, these puzzle types aren't actually that fun. And we finally get to see a fire type. It takes you this far into the puzzle to see one fire type. You can have fighting types, you can have electric, steel, but it takes you until pretty much the end of the puzzle to get a fire type in a place that's named Fuego. You know, fire. It's very strange. Also, I'm pretty sure we can get burned by hitting this with physical contact moves, but it's fine. Good experience for Boofruff, either way. And it's been pretty consistent with his level ups too, so I can't complain. I'm going down in flames! The sweat of a working man is beautiful to behold. There's also beauty in the tears wet from defeat. What is it with this place and these dudes talking about how sweaty they are? I don't get it. Also, those arrows, the panels around this is ridiculous. This is the main reason why you would want to come here. So, given that this game came out in a time where TMs were single use, and buying more of them was through the battle tower predominantly, so it was a pain in the butt, this is a very helpful TM to have. Unfortunately for us, the only Pokemon that can learn it is Scramble. I can definitely assure you that Luxray also cannot learn this move, and Scramble probably isn't going to be the best user of it. Anyway, let's talk to Mr. Fuego. Well, hello. It's not often I get a visitor here. I tried to make the ironworks run better with the moving floor tiles, but no one was happy about it. They said the moving floor made them dizzy. But you don't want to listen to me whine. Here's a souvenir. You get a star piece, you can just sell it for money. My ironworks makes iron by removing impurities from iron ore. In the process, we find a variety of coloured shards. If you'd like, we can trade star pieces for these shards. And we're just going to do it because I feel like it makes him happy. We're not going to use the star piece or the shards probably, but it makes him happy in my mind, so we'll do it. I always thought this would be something you could interact with. Not like put your head in it or anything, but like it'd tell you about it. But nope, you cannot. Very, very strange. Just because we're here, we should go and get that item. But yeah, this is it. This is the whole puzzle. Like, this is not a big place. And I get it, it's kind of out of the way. But it's got a mechanic that even the owner of the building says sucks. Like, it's very, very strange. Also, I didn't actually mean to go that way. Yeah, that's what happens when you play on autopilot. Like I said, I hope you like the sound of this panel spinning, because you get to have a lot of it. No, the way you get that is you actually go the way that I went before. So you go up the top line. You go back, talk to this second dude that likes to talk about sweat for some reason. And then you just come back and get the item. Not a bad item. Rock incense. But again, not hugely useful for us. But can be useful. Still boosts the power of rock type moves, and I'm pretty sure you have to have that on the Sudder Woodo to breed to get a Bonsly. Anyway, that was the Fuego Ironworks. And next episode, we're actually going to do what we're meant to do when we have surf, and go visit a new town. So we will go do that next time. I appreciate you watching. I'll probably fast forward to the Pokemon Center nearby just to speed things up. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.